Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live. That's the News Burst Live with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com. Hope everyone is having a nice Monday. Do people have nice Mondays? Is that a thing? It's been a day, hasn't it? Anyway, yeah, we've got a classified listings update for you today. A bunch more listings have leaked into the ether. So we've added them to the list, and we'll be talking through those a little bit tonight. Tonight's a bit of a double whammy. I'm not doing back-to-back live streams. Have no worries. I'm going to be doing this tonight. It probably won't be a long episode, maybe about half an hour-ish. And then after this episode airs, I'm going to be sharing the interview with Lenny and Tony. Yes, that's been approved. So thank you to Hasbro for allowing me to talk to you guys, to Lenny and Tony, and you'll be seeing that after this. So that'd be fun for you, I hope. And for some people who have to catch this after the fact, you've got double the content to get caught up with. So yes, we'll start though with some classified listings that have snuck out, and yeah, and a couple of sort of semi-confirmations as well. You'll know what I'm talking about when we get there. So let's sort my camera out a bit. There we go. But we'll understand when we arrive at that place. So let's get stuck in. We've got some classified listings. Pow! Loads of you in the comments already. Thank you very much for jumping on. I hope everyone's having a great day. Good start to their week. Woo interview, says Scott. Yes, it's coming very soon. It's already locked and loaded, so I just have to share, and I'll do that as soon as we're finished here. Anyway, so listings update, classified 2025 listings update. Yes, we knew a few of these. Again, lots of kind of leaks have happened recently, and all I'm doing is adding them to the listings update. But also, boy howdy, do I have a lot of new actual listings to show you. Are the dragonflies through the ports already? I believe so, Stanley, because they're going to be shipping soon, in probably less than a month, aren't they? So soon. They might still be in the ports. That's why it's taking this long. Maybe they're at that point where they're like, as soon as they get in, we just make sure everyone's addresses are ready. Anyway, let's look at the listings. So first off, we've had 2024 listings, of course, and we're nearly done with that. Nemesis Immortal, the only outlier so far from that group, not to have been kind of revealed yet. But yeah, we know it's coming, and he's coming soon, so don't worry about it. It'll happen. And I'm sure before 2024 is over as well. Now, that's by the by. We're into 2025, and this is the old listings that I've been sharing with you guys for the longest time. You'll notice non-committal on two, on Smithers and Tommy, RR Tommy, but we have just decided to just go full force with that on the next panel. But also, guys, just look at this listing and then see the additional listings we've had with this new leaked amount of listings. Are you ready for this? Yikes. Okay, so let's get through this quickly. As you can see, we've gone a little bit more committal there with Darklon in the second wave of 4 figures that I'm assuming we'll probably see around like February, March time, seeing as they've had all the name-only reveals for them and everything. Then, of course, we have all the ones we've seen before, another 2 waves of 4, retail waves of 4. Then we've had to get to that point where I've had to rearrange some of the layout. So we've got Deluxe and Legacy is now over to the left-hand side. And then it's all exclusives and retro classified to the right. Now, Daria Deluxe we know is heavy duty, and that's coming soon. Salvador Pet we know is Law and Order. We've already covered this. It's like, yeah, I know, we've already covered that. Then we get a cheeky BB Quinn Deluxe, G1226 for all of those that are following with any spreadsheets. So that's the first newie. Newey Lewis and the News on the listing that we got to so far. I should have blocked these all out and brought, like, revealed them in some sort of like fashion. You're all probably just reading them all, writing them down, and then turning off, which is, what I should know better by now, really, shouldn't I? So anyway, BB Quinn Deluxe is another deluxe figure. Very excited for that. Trent Pett, I believe, was already on the listings before. Yes, Trent Pett was already on there. Legacy RR Tommy and Legacy RR Angelica were also both on there. And as you can see, we've just gone ahead full committal on 60th Firefighter, seeing as that has been effectively all but revealed in other channels and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's on there now. Now that is pretty much the left-hand side sorted. Let's get over to the new hand side, as I like to call it, the right-hand side. GIJ CSSP Philip is the listing that we were assuming was going up on Friday on the 27th, and it never did. Oh, good pass. I'm glad. The screen is too small and the font is too small for you to read. Good. I'll just read it out then. So yeah, SP Philip, we already know, is in the system for Target and is currently not really sure where that's landing at any point. But we were told there was a pre-order on Friday, and it's likely it was pushed. Then what we're talking about, yes, then there's an unknown 2-pack listing, G0851, which is also Target. We don't know. Yeah, exactly. I've done it on purpose, board with figures, so that you can't quite see it, and I have to read it out for you. So yeah, SP Philip, like I said, Target exclusive. Unknown the unknown means we don't know the name of the internal code word. We just have a description that it's a 2-pack and the number G0851. And we know that it's Target as well. Now, the next one's quite interesting. There's a SP Cartman 2-pack, another Target exclusive, G1230. And SP just seems to be what Target have been utilizing or what Hasbro have been utilizing for Target as their kind of designations. But you may have noticed very recently, I'm not sure if it popped up recently for you guys, but a listing inside of Target's system popped up for a SP Hudson, not GG Hudson. Now, GG is what we've kind of been accustomed to seeing for Walmart exclusive internal code word thematic situations, right? So gargoyles, which is what that is, seems to have been used very often, if not for every single one so far in this listing, for Night Force, right? And then all of a sudden, in Target system, they have an SP Hudson listing. So we're not quite sure what to think about that, because obviously Hudson is a Gargoyles character. Maybe they've made some switcheroonies. Maybe they've tried maybe they've moved some stuff around. Maybe maybe it's one of those things where Target have made an error in their transposition of putting information into their system. It's possible. It's happened in the past, but we will see. Effectively, it's Target or Walmart, but we had it originally as GG Hudson and as a Walmart exclusive, so who knows. Continuing that theme, the Gargoyles theme, we have a Brooklyn 2-pack, G1231, again, Walmart exclusive, and another 2-pack for Walmart, GG Lexington 21232, G1232, whatever. So just to give you all of the Walmart kind of listings there. Again, we don't know what we can't divulge some of them because we don't know what some of them are, and we can't divulge some of them because we know what they are, but we can't divulge them. So it's a bit of a mix and match situation. But for the most part, there's a few on here that we just don't have a clue on. And so yeah, there you go. So Lexington 2-pack, whatever. Somewhere Pat is pouring a shot and yelling, "Can't take more listings." Yes, Johnny, he's kind of gone full, like, almost like alcoholic police officer from all the movies, hasn't he? Python Patrol Valkyrie's confirmed. Really, Jeremy? You're just saying that for everything. Or actually, no, you usually say Blowtorch, don't you? No sleep till GG Brooklyn 2-pack. Indeed, Scott. I feel like I haven't had any sleep, genuinely. Stanley says, why SPGG, TTBB, etc., and not Target, Walmart, Amazon, etc. abbreviations? Well, Stanley, they want to keep it very, very secret, but then they all leak anyway. They all come out in the wash anyway, and then the fun part for us is then working everything out. But I don't know, maybe they do it to then, like maybe they can move some of these things around a little bit and it doesn't make any difference necessarily. So they do this just to kind of like, I don't know. GGSP Hudson matches the UPC for G0853, which is the number R sharp, isn't it? So yes. So it probably is Target. It probably is a Target listing. But at the moment, this is what we were given, or like this is what kind of leaked initially, and this is what we're kind of utilizing at the moment until we get a proper explanation, or we can confirm it, or you know what I mean? Like until it comes out, we don't really know at the moment. But I'm trying to kind of give you the overall explanation as to why that's a GG Hudson and not an SP Hudson, because we were told initially that was a Walmart listing. Anyway, moving through, GG CS TT. Now we're on to the TTs, which are usually every other listing, right? So the TTs are usually every other exclusive. So Pulse, Fanmazon, Amazon, PulseCon, SDCC, etc., etc. So yeah, there you go. So as you can see, when they've got an F next to them, it's Fanmazon. When they've got a P next to them, it's Pulse. When they've got a PC, it's PulseCon. If there is a PC, I don't think we've got the PC one on that. No, we don't know what the PulseCon one is, but one of them probably is a PulseCon. And then obviously SDCC is one as well. Yeah. Excuse me. Why do I always eat before doing these things? I always wolf food down, and then I've got these kind of like acid reflux going on for the rest of the night. No. So there you go. So that's kind of explanation of the TT scenario. So we've got Sewer Urchin Pet, which is a figure and pet, obviously. We've got Chairface, which sounds amazing. Also, those two are Fanmazon. The Chairface one has a price point, which I've put on there, of $45, which is effectively a figure pet, isn't it? Chairface. Sorry, the price point. So Chairface could very well be a figure pet situation with Fanmazon, and that makes me think, right? That makes me think of some sort of maybe Marauders Mutton Junkyard, because we actually genuinely don't know what that listing is. So I wonder if, because obviously we have a mainline Mutton Junkyard, right? Releasing another one, just a repaint within the same retail sort of scenario, they might be thinking, well, let's just do it as a Fanmazon exclusive instead. That might be their thought process on it, because we have had, obviously, the Sarge was Fanmazon and he's Marauders. And so I could see them doing that for Mutton Junkyard, doing it as Fanmazon, and it's a repaint. Bob's your uncle. I'd be really cool with that. Yes, it is. TT is the tick, effectively. That's why you've got, Sewer Urchin, Chairface, LC, Terra, American Made, Kyle, sorry, not Kyle, Fishboy, Mancow, Red Scare, Brainchild, Dinosaur Neil, Arthur, etc., etc. Now, a couple of other things popped up here. So let's get to, where are we? Chairface. So Chairface, not sure, but that is my kind of thought process on it being a $45 kind of, figure pet scenario. L Seed is another new one, G1229 Pulse exclusive. We don't know what that one is. So that is, again, it's not even worth speculating, because it's just, they never, I say they never really line up very nicely. I mean, Brain and Dr. Mindbender have lined up nicely. Trying to think if any others did, really. Not really. For the majority, for the most part, you don't have a direct connection between the internal code word and the actual character itself. Sometimes you do, or maybe sometimes it's just, on the nose or happened funnily, or I don't know. But Brain and Dr. Mindbender seems like one that they did on purpose. Anyway, L-Seed, don't know. Terra, Pulse exclusive, G0854, again, don't know what that is. What else have we got on here that's new? It's really just to show you that, we've got some more listings. American Made G1061, another Pulse exclusive on that one. And then this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because we initially got the next listings as TT Kyle and TT Goliath vehicle, right? Now, because that's what we got initially, since then, we've seen these listings have come through again as SP Kyle and GG Goliath vehicle. Now, I'm pretty sure that they're still both Pulse exclusives, but obviously SP would denote Target, GG would denote Walmart. But the way things are going, and the fact that Hudson's made a switch, and so on and so forth, and the fact that, like, you know, Kyle is a South Park name, that makes sense. Goliath is a Gargoyle's name. It makes complete sense. So yeah, like, but it's interesting that those listings we got initially were TTs. So anyway, they may or may not be Target or Walmart, but it's likely, I think, that they're both Pulse exclusive anyway. Again, it's all a little bit up in the air at this stage. When these listings leak early on, there's usually a few discrepancies, or things have changed a little bit. But anyway, moving through, a lot of you guys are trying to work out what the names are, but again, like, it's like they never line up. So yeah, so Kyle and Goliath vehicle, interesting additions. Another vehicle in the line there as well, G1174. Very excited to see what that could be. I'm trying to think of what else is on there. Yeah, I think obviously the Claw is Mancow, G1175, Pulse exclusive. Don't know when that's dropping yet. We've got a couple of options coming up soon, haven't we? With NYCC and what's the other one? Oh, 1027. One thing I will say, though, it looks like NYCC, they'll be having another breakfast, a Hasbro breakfast thing. And I've been invited. And this time, guys, I'll be going. I'll take the old camera. I might stream on site as well. So unfortunately, it's right in the sweet spot of our weekly episode. So that will have to be done on Friday, although I'll probably have to travel on Friday as well. It's going to be a difficult time to get the weekly out. Maybe when I get home, I could do it later in the evening. I don't know. We'll see. But I will be streaming from the event if it's a decent, Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be eating waffles and pancakes and looking at JoJo figures. Can't wait. Because I mean, that's NYCC. That's just down. That's like, that's like 3-hour train journey. It's still a long time, but at least it's not like, having to fly to friggin' San Diego. So yeah, that's on the 19th of October, but the Hasbro breakfast thing is in the morning on the Saturday, and hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to kind of stream some cool info from the floor, and hopefully I get to talk to people as well and do little interviews. That'll actually be quite fun. What I'll probably do is I'll probably film it. I'll probably stream a little bit, but I'll probably film it properly and sexily, and maybe do a proper interview with the people on at the show, like Lenny and Tony and whoever's there, really. And and get you guys some rather nice, sexy content. We'll see how it goes. What else have we got going on? Right, yeah, then we are at Fish Boy Deluxe, which is a troop builder pack, we've been told, at $35. No clue, but it sounds like it's going to be some sort of individual figure with multiple options there. Don't know, though, not a clue. All we know, that Fish Boy Deluxe is the funniest name ever for anything. Then we have the Red Scare 2-pack. We have a Brainchild 2-pack. They're both Pulse exclusives. We don't know what the heck that is. Dinosaur Neil is the HasLab Rattler, G1427, G14 classified, Pulse exclusive. Well, yeah, obviously HasLab exclusive. And then, of course, finally we have the listing for SDCC, which is TT Arthur Deluxe G1062. So lots of like interesting exclusive listings added to this list, and kind of gives us an idea, like not an idea, but gives us like a healthy viewpoint of the line in 2025. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff here. How far are we listed out now? 2026 Jedi Ben, possibly, but only in in hand. So if you imagine, so Martin, Nelson, Moe, and Mr. Burns, for example, the last 4 of the retail waves of 4 will be revealed at the end of the year and in hand in 2026. Same would probably be for Scratch and Sniff, Hello Nurse, and Ralph T of the retro lines. It's 2025 revealed, pre-order, etc., etc. 20, and then some of these on the end will be in hand 2026. Does that make sense? They're listings for 2025 basically, but like I said, yeah. So some, ever so few of these will be in hand 2026, but revealed and as up for pre-order 2025. Did I miss Nemesis Enforcer? Yes, you did, Board with Figures. He's here in 2024 still waiting for him to drop. There is his listing. He is definitely 100% there. But he's coming soon. Have no fear. He is coming soon. Anyone see the new Joe Funko Pops Flaffle? Yes, we did. We talked about it quite a lot actually on the weekly. Pat and I were just kind of very like confused, intrigued, you name it. There was a lot of different feelings going on. But anyway. Emily is the new Cox, says Stygian. She might be, the rate she's like just rocketing up the promotion ladder. Emily for Hasbro president. This is a Funko Pop free zone. Yes, Board with Figures. Fair enough. Anyway. So yeah, where was I? Retro Classified. Okay, so Retro Classified is another one where we've kind of gone, okay, yeah, there's one for Flint in there, as you can already see. I'll just cut to the chase on that one. Now, this was leaked a couple of weeks ago, I think, and we've just been like, yeah, maybe it's Flint, but there it is. There he is. Okay, Retro AN buttons, G0959, and that's pretty much everything. So Viper, Dr. Mindbender, Rock and Roll are next up for Retro. So we're expecting, I guess, them very soon, either NYCC or M1027 or whatever it may be. They're kind of the same thing, really, aren't they? The 1020, because 1027 is literally the date that is also NYCC. So yeah, is that right? Have I made? Oh no, not NYCC. Sorry, it's not. They're two separate things, aren't they? NYCC. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting confused. I'll rejig what I'm saying there. NYCC is happening on the 19th, and then 1027 and MCM London are happening at the same time on 1027. Sorry, that's what I was trying to get at. So again, options. So I don't know if I imagine 1027 will take precedent over MCM in that sense. It's hard to say, isn't it, really? Maybe MCM does something and reveals and maybe some pre-orders later on in the week, and maybe 1027 has something in hand to show. I don't know, but it will be effectively the same weekend is what I'm getting at there. Now, yeah, and then of course we have Good Feathers, Mindy, Scratch and Sniff, Hello Nurse, and Ralph T, who we just have no clue what they are yet for Retro. Chris, do you think we're ever going to have a figure go retro first, like say an OG13 guy like Flash? I could see that happen. Yeah, I mean, we kind of technically, it wasn't first because Recondo had already come out to Tiger Force figure, but he went retro in his redeco, which isn't the same, I know. But yeah, I could see them doing something that would be like a retro version out the gate, and then like a repaint in some other way for the main line elsewhere. The thing is, it kind of, I don't know if it makes more sense for them to do. They seem to have kind of gone with this maneuver of doing something in the main line that's got a bit of update, bit of difference, bit of change, bit of update, upgrade, whatever you may call it, and then doing a retro release, because it feels like, people might, I don't know, actually. I don't know what makes more sense. Like maybe they feel like if they do the retro one, then no one's going to want the mainline one because it's not as nostalgic on the nose sort of thing. Whereas if they do one in the main line, you're not necessarily guaranteed it's happening in the retro line. But that's another good point from Liquid Identity. He says retro will always be repaint reissue because they aren't numbered. Yeah, I think, yeah, they'll do different versions of the characters. But yeah, I can see that being a good point there. And retro second seems like a good way to get more money, says Part. Yeah, I think from a marketing perspective, it makes more sense, doesn't it? But yeah, that is everything. There's your new update for all, for those that are keeping, any kind of score on this one. I know it's like a lot of, I find it fun with the listings, even when I don't know what they are. I find it fun to kind of like, I don't know, start playing some sort of detective game. Although the old detective games certainly don't work in the same way the new ones do. So the old detective way was to be like Tarantula could be Snake Eyes, and I think it was, wasn't it? Or was it Storm Shadow? I can't remember which one was which now. I think Snake Eyes was Tarantula back in the day. And then, of course, like you had Dung Beetle for Duke, DUNDUK, so there was some connectivity to those internal code words. And then they started to kind of mix it up and change it a little bit. Then they had a few that were on the nose, and then they just started doing them completely random because I think people were starting to clock what characters they were going to get when the listings kind of leaked out there. Felix says our retro releases every 4 months. They're just whenever they have a nice event for it, I think, aren't they? But they sort of follow a similar pattern to the standard retail waves most of the time. So I've got a feeling that, we may see the retro very soon, possibly NYCC, possibly 1027, possibly MCM. And that would be, again, like, what we expected going into this 2025 listings in hand. So Cobra Viper, Mindbender, and Rock and Roll are technically revealed and pre-orders in 2024, but they'll be in hand in 2025. So that's where they're on this particular listing. It's all a bit confusing and silly, isn't it? Stepstoy says they also use them to sort of mitigate some of the Cobra Island missteps mess ups from early on. I'd be stunned if one of the unknown ones wasn't Blood, for instance. Yeah, possibly. Definitely overdue for a retro Blood. Yeah, I would say that, actually. In fact, I'd love to see some Bloodhounds. I'd love to see Major Blood kind of given some sort of like maybe Sunbow or maybe cartoon or comic deco. I don't know. But either way, I'd like to see him rejigged a little bit, just maybe more retro. Make a different arm possibly for him. I do love that Major Blood, by the way. That Major Blood is a phenomenal figure and really cool. But they definitely need to fix the little missiles that go in the backpack because they are literally hanging on by hopes and dreams. They're literally just like, I believe I can connect to this backpack. And therefore I will be on the floor anytime anyone walks past in a gust of wind. Who's gust of wind? Board with Figure says there are still missteps now. CC Once a Man and Cobra Ferret pop to mind. I mean, there are always going to be. I wouldn't say there's going to be situations where nobody can really gauge how something's going to go. For example, like I would say that they learn their lessons from multiple different things. The obviously the Wreckage Tiger Paw incident I'll throw out there because a lot of people were complaining that they didn't have any like heads up, and then by the time they realized it was too late and it sold out. That I understand, right? But the ferrets, they've kind of come out multiple times. I don't think they've really been that difficult to get hold of, and they're available now, right? Yeah, they're available now on BBTS. So yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a misstep. I am familiar with those rappers, RKW. They're amazing, honestly. I want to see what a non-Tiger Force Wreckage looks like. Yeah, me too, Steps Toys. Me too. Just join, start from the beginning. Hell no. Yes, Zed. Sorry, I was just getting to that point. They've learned. No, I didn't say they learned their entire lesson. I said they've learned lessons from doing certain things, and I think that's why we didn't see a figure on Friday revealed by Target, because I think they thought, well, there's been no heads up for anybody. So I think maybe that might be one of those things that they were probably considering. But in terms of, yeah, there are still big issues with Hasbro in general. Of course there are. There always will be. Where you've got technology, you've got things that can go wrong as well. So apps, the website, yeah, they need to work on a few things there, no doubt. And I agree with that entirely. There are still issues, I think, with certain, like, I don't know, let's think, accessories or, weapons that are still a little bit squidgy, that kind of thing. A lot of heat fixes a lot of stuff now, I've noticed, but like, they try to do as much as they can, I think, or the G.I. Joe team definitely try to do as much as they can for the fans. They try very, very hard to make sure, that we're getting what we want for the most part. And if we're not, and they see that, then they try and course correct a little bit. But yeah, I mean, no one's perfect, no one's fallible. And of course, I would add the fact that they're also working to what is effectively a strict budget with, also probably some very strict parameters regarding what Hasbro corporate want to kind of keep going. So I feel like there's always a little bit of a, it's one of these back and forth going on. But no, I definitely agree with you. I think there are lots of things that can be improved in general about lots of different things. Vamp is another one, obviously. Some of these not answered by Lenny and Tony, because some of these questions are in the interview, which I'll be posting shortly. But let's get this out of the way first. In fact, let's get this out of the way. I'll post the interview and you guys can enjoy that for the rest of your evening. How does that sound? Okay, cool. Right. Thank you very much for joining me today, talking about these new listings. I will be literally on your screens momentarily with Lenny and Tony. And of course, like I said, any other updates to give you? Brian Flynn interview is being organized for this week, but I don't know if it'll be this week, but that's what we're aiming for. And I can't wait to talk to him, really, because there's going to be a lot of like Reaction Plus stuff to talk about. Can't wait for that. Anyway, hope you've had a fun Monday night with me. I'll see you on the next one, which is like I said, a few minutes away. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. I'm nowhere near ready with the video. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @TheFullForce Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.